Without wasting your time, we are going to share top 5 best external hard drive for photos. The product links are in the description and in first comment. The number 5 on the list is Seagate Expansion. Seagate Expansion, this frills-free storage device comes with no added value however, as there's no backup software or encryption support. It also carries a short warranty of just a year. But if large storage space and fast performance are what you need, the Seagate Expansion is an excellent way to add more storage to your laptop. And thanks to the straightforward design, the drive is especially good for a non-computer host, such as a game, console or media player. For more options, including those with more features, check out our list of top portable drives on the market. The Expansion ships in a Spartan retail package that includes the drive itself and a foot-long standard cable, but that's all you need to get up and running. Like all portable drives, the Expansion is bus-powered, requiring just one cable for both data and power out of the box. The Expansion is pre-formatted in the file system, so it works right away with a Windows computer. You can also easily reformat it into in order to work with a Mac, a process that takes just a few seconds. In fact, I generally find that buying a drive like this is a much cheaper way to get storage for you than buying a Mac-designated drive, which are generally much more expensive. If you want to use the Seagate Expansion interchangeably in a mixed Windows and Mac environment, you can also format it using the file system. Apart from computers, the drive will also work with other popular hosts such as game consoles or media players. Just make sure you first format it into the supported file system. I tried it with the one and it worked very well. The drive was recognized quickly and I could use it to save games and apps as well as to store media for playback. There's no other software or security features. This means, among other things, if you lose the drive, anyone can have access to the data it stores, so if you use it while traveling, don't store sensitive data on it. However, this doesn't mean you can't use the Expansion as a backup drive on a once the drive is reformatted into it works with Time Machine, and on a Windows machine, you can use any third-party backup software with it. Considering the fact it hosts a low-power internal drive, the Seagate Expansion's performance is a nice surprise and more than makes up for its lacks of features. In my testing with it, registered a sustained copy speed of more than for writing and almost for reading. These were about the fastest among hard drive-based portable drives. Portable drives that are faster generally have special performance boosting features such as RAID or use a solid-state internal drive, which the Expansion does not. Note, however, that the lack of sophisticated features on the Expansion has its own advantages. It allows the drive to remain simple and work well with different types of hosts such as game consoles, something a password-protected drive can do. All things considered, the Seagate Expansion is one of my favorite portable drives, which I would recommend to almost anyone. That makes the Blink Mini a fine choice if you don't mind paying a few bucks per month for cloud storage. Another initial drawback to the camera was the fixed position view, but full pan and tilt is now available with the addition of a pan tilt mount. The camera and mount accessory are currently available for a savings versus purchasing them separately. The Blink Mini has a reliable HD live video feed, responsive motion alerts and two-way talk that was perfectly clear when my husband and I tested it out on day of our home quarantine due to the coronavirus pandemic. It also has motion detection zones that successfully blocked out motion activity in the areas I designated, and an extensive settings section in the Blink app with lots of customizability. Some of your options include adjusting the length of the recorded clips, customizing the intensity of the infrared for night vision, and adjusting the sensitivity of the motion sensor. This camera is supposed to work with Alexa-enabled smart speakers and displays, but I didn't test the display because we don't have any smart displays. In theory, you should be able to use a smart display to view a Blink Mini's live feed or saved clips, but we confirmed you can use a smart speaker to arm and disarm the camera for motion detection. The Blink Mini doesn't support Google Assistant or Siri via Apple HomeKit. As you can see in the screenshot, the Blink app allows you to set activity zones to monitor, adjust the alert sensitivity, and set to automatically switch between day and night views. The app is available on Apple and Android devices. The number 4 on the list is Elements Desktop. Elements Desktop. If you're looking for a streamlined external hard drive solution for your desktop storage needs, consider the Elements Desktop. This hard drive could very well fill that space in your home office. It offers a hefty amount of storage, Windows plug-and-play ease of use, as well as speedier transfer speeds than your typical internal. I used this external hard drive over the course of several days to transfer media files and test it as a gaming hard drive as well. Overall, I found it to be a strong performer with some minor drawbacks. Assuming you're okay with a device that's not necessarily portable and you're not looking for an ultra-fast, this offers uncluttered appeal. For a work desk, it doesn't require much space at less than inches thick and inches tall and resembles a hardcover book, but just like a freestanding book, it lacks stability. I inadvertently and with little effort bumped this several times and watched it topple over on my desk. Luckily, nothing happened to its ability to operate, but this didn't instill a lot of confidence in the product, considering are known to be more fragile and prone to failure because of all of the physical parts at work. Another drawback to the design is that the smooth plastic casing is prone to smudging. It picked up fingerprints from the moment I first handled it out of the box and looked quite smudgy after just a few hours of use. When I put it to the bigger test of downloading the game, it took about an hour and minutes. That's on par with, though slightly slower than, the time it took to perform the same task on the which took closer to a solid who are on the nose. The Elements desktop did outperform the game drive width of storage by about minute, but the load time of the game was much slower than other devices I tested. It took nearly seconds to load from the Elements desktop, which is about twice as slow as the load time I saw from the gaming laptop hard drive. I tested this game with Western Digital claims that our HD movie is ready to view in just minutes. I didn't have files on hand, but I can see this claim holding up. I transferred a few movie files that were between, and those each took about seconds to transfer. A larger batch of movie files took a little over minute seconds. I also moved over digital photo files, nearly in total and in volume, and that took nearly minutes to complete. While I wouldn't say that data transfers are lightning fast on the Elements desktop, I did find the performance to be respectably speedy on both and Windows devices. The number 3 on the list is SanDisk Professional. SanDisk Professional, the G Drive SSD, is an upgrade to the G Technology G Drive Mobile. Opens in a new window and is nearly twice as fast as that model, which has a rated speed of 560 Mbps, along with boasting a higher crush-proof rating and hardware-based encryption like its predecessor. The SanDisk Professional G Drive is one of the more rugged drives on the market. It shares its Mac-friendly file format with the G Technology Drive and the new SanDisk Professional G Drive Armor, which is a platter-based model. If you only have a Windows machine and need to convert the file format, you can do so with Windows Disk Management utility by carefully deleting the partition and reformatting the drive as wiping the drive clean. Utilities such as Paragon Converter opens in a new window offer simple, painless, and straightforward ways to convert drives from and back before you try to change the G Drive SSD's file format. It's a good idea to back up any of your data on it. The Paragon utility even you to back it up. SanDisk includes both Mac and Windows versions of its SanDisk Security, which supports hardware encryption and lets you set a password to protect the data on your drive. You should save copies of both versions of the utility before reformatting the drive. Black with silver trim and measuring, the G Drive is compact and handsome. On the top and bottom are grill-like slits that let heat dissipate from the drive's aluminum core. At one end is a small status light that blinks purplish white while a transfer is in progress. At the other end is a connector for the included cables. The number 2 on the list is iStorage Diskasher. iStorage Diskasher. The Diskasher M2 from iStorage excels at the primary mission of any security-focused, making sure that no unauthorized person can ever get their hands on your data. It succeeds thanks to hardware encryption, authentication, and what is, in effect, a self-destruct mechanism should anyone breach its housing. This repels the elements too, impervious to water and dust, and it's shockproof and crush-proof like most security-centric external. The isn't particularly fast and you do pay a premium for its protective features, but it's not as dear as many similarly equipped. We have reviewed that fact, and the feature set tipped the scales in favor of the Diskasher as our latest editor's choice winner for secure external. The included quick start guide instructs you on how to set an admin before first use and how to unlock the drive with it. Must be between 7 and characters, and a shift key lets you toggle between letters and numbers. You can also set individual user, and if a user forgets the drive can be unlocked using the admin. The administrator can then let the user set a new user. The administrator can also set himself destruct. That's very much a nuclear option. Once that kill is entered, the data, the encryption key and all are deleted, rendered lost forever. A great thing about the is that because its encryption is hardware-based, the drive is operating system and host independent, so you can use it on most any system with a port without having to install software. Of the two cables included with it, one connects to a computer's Type port, the other to a Type A port. According to iStorage, the drive is compatible with Windows Thin clients, Zero clients, embedded systems Citrix, and to lock the drive, you simply unplug it from the computer. Just be sure that any data transfer in progress completes before doing so. Among the drives included in these charts, the ones most similar to the which I think of as armored or lockbox drives are the Korn Aegis Fortress, the Data Locker iStorage's earlier DiskCacher, and the Secure Data Secure Drive. Think of these as our core group of comparison drives. The number one on the list is external hard drive desktop. External hard drive desktop. Choosing an external drive isn't as simple as buying the most expensive one you can afford. However, the drive capacity is the most important factor to consider, and it can increase or decrease the cost dramatically depending on your needs. Other factors include the physical size of the drive. Is it designed to be carted around or to sit on your desk? How rugged it is, the interface it uses to connect to your, and even what colors it comes in. This guide will help you make sense of these and many more questions that arise while you're shopping for an external hard drive. First off, we've outlined below our top picks among external hard drives we've tested. Read on for our lab's tested favorites, followed by the buying basics you should know when buying an external drive. Our article concludes with a detailed breakout of our top choices. Solid-state drives have fewer moving parts than traditional hard drives, and they offer the speediest access to your data, unlike a conventional disk-based hard drive, which stores data on a spinning platter or platters accessed by a moving magnetic head and uses a collection of flash cells similar to the ones that make up a computer. Just how much faster is it to access data stored in flash cells? Typical read and write speeds for consumer drives with spinning platters are in the, depending on platter densities and whether they spin at external, offer at least twice that speed, and now often much more, with typical results on our benchmark tests in excess of. Practically speaking, this means you can move gigabytes of data, say a feature-length film or a year's worth of family photos, to an external in seconds rather than the minutes it would take with an external spinning drive. Not only is it faster to read and write data stored in flash cells, but it's also safer because there is no spinning platter or moving magnetic head. If you bump the while you're accessing its data, there is no risk that your files will become corrupted and unreadable.